everyone. Today in this video we'll be covering the second chapter of our NCC book, which is Defense Services. So let's get into it. India's defense policy aims at promoting and sustaining durable peace in the subcontinent by means of negotiations and cooperation. So India की जो defense policy रही है, that main policy aims at promoting the peace ताकि नेगोशिएशन और कॉपरेशन के थ्रू हर एक रीजन में पीस इस्टेब्लिश हो सके विद वेरियस कंट्रीज and at the same time equipping the defense forces with modern weapons as a safeguard against aggression. But it does not mean कि वो peace को promote करते करते अपने आप को खुद equip ना करे against aggression. So मेन डिफेंस पॉलिसी इंडिया की हमेशा ये रही है दैट दे शुड ट्राई टू अटेम्प्ट टू स्टैब्लिश द पीस एवरीवेयर विद एवरी कंट्री, बट एट द सेम टाइम दे नीड टू इक्विप देयर सोल्जर्स टू प्रिपेयर देम फॉर द aggressions in the future. Armed Forces. The Supreme Command of the Armed Forces is vested in the President of India. So the Supreme Command सारे ही हमारे जितने भी armed forces हैं, be it Army, Navy or Air Force, that Supreme Command lies with the President of India. The responsibility for national defense, however, rests with the Cabinet, that is the Ministry of Defense. All the important questions having a bearing on defense are decided by the Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs, which is presided by the Prime Minister. लेकिन जितनी भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हैं और डे टू डे ऑपरेशनल वर्क जो होता है डिफेंस सर्विसेज का, दैट इज़ हैंडल्ड बाय द कमिटी ऑन पॉलिटिकल अफेयर्स who is headed by the prime minister of our country. The defense minister is responsible to parliament for all matters concerning the defense services. और जो defense committee के minister हैं, that is the defense minister, he is liable to for all the activities and services which are exercised in our defense forces. The administrative and operational control of the armed forces are exercised by the Ministry of Defense and the three services headquarters of the Army, Navy and Air Force. सो जितना भी हमारा आर्म फोर्सेस का एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव और ऑपरेशनल कंट्रोल है वो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस देखती है और तीनों सर्विसेज देखती हैं जहाँ पे उनके हेड क्वार्टर्स हैं. ठीक है. सो होल ऑफ द डिफेंस सर्विसेज इज रेगुलेटेड बाय दीज टू ब्रांचेस. फर्स्ट इज द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस एंड सेकेंड इज द हेड क्वार्टर्स ऑफ द थ्री ब्रांचेस. Then the three services, Army, Navy and Air Force, function through their respective service headquarters. तीनों सर्विस जो है हमारी आर्मी, नेवी, एयरफोर्स, ये अपने हेडक्वार्टर्स के थ्रू फंक्शन करती हैं. इनके चीफ ऑफ स्टाफ होते हैं जो कि डिफेंस स्टाफ के अंडर काम करते हैं. And the first CDS of India was General Bipin Rawat. And we have also studied about General Bipin Rawat in our previous video. So the first CDS of India was General Bipin Rawat. Now, Indian Army. The Indian Army is a land-based branch. Okay, so these are some of the very basic type of information which is given in this chapter. So what I would suggest is that you should read only the highlighted words, because I have already read this chapter, and believe me, to be honest, this is a very basic and easy chapter to grab it. You just need to remember few of the important things which I have highlighted in this. Okay. So army is the land based branch and it is the largest component of the armed forces. जो president हैं वो de jure commander in chief हैं army के, while the de facto leadership lies with the ministry of defense as usual. Chief of army staff जो कि एक 4-star general हैं, इन्हें कमांड करते हैं. एंड जो रैंक होती है ऑफिसर्स के पास, 2 ऑफिसर्स, अदर ऑफिसर्स जो होते हैं COAS के अंडर, वो होते हैं हमारे फील्ड मार्शल, विच इज़ अ 5 रैंक्ड जनरल, विच इज़ अ सेरेमोनियल पोजीशन ऑफ ग्रेट ऑनर. द इंडियन आर्मी ओरिजिनेटेड फ्रॉम द आर्मीज ऑफ द ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी. ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी की आर्मी से ही हमारी इंडियन आर्मी बनी है, विच इवेंचुअली बिकम द ब्रिटिश इंडियन आर्मी एंड फाइनली द नेशनल आर्मी आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस. सो अर्लियर वो हमारी ब्रिटिश आर्मी थी, बट आफ्टर द इंडिपेंडेंस इट बिकम आर नेशनल आर्मी. द यूनिट्स of Indian Army and finally the units and regiments of the Indian Army have diverse histories and have participated in a number of battles and campaigns across the world, earning a large number of battles and theatre honors before and after independence. So हमारी जितनी भी यूनिट और बटालियंस हैं इंडियन आर्मी की, उनके पास तरह तरह का एक्सपीरियंस है एंड दैट एक्सपीरियंस दे हैव गॉन आफ्टर एंड बिफोर द इंडिपेंडेंस. द प्राइमरी मिशन ऑफ द इंडियन आर्मी इज टू इंश्योर नेशनल सिक्योरिटी. उनका मेन मिशन है कि वो नेशन की सिक्योरिटी को सबसे ज़्यादा प्रायोरिटी देते हैं एंड यूनिटी, डिफेंडिंग अपॉन द नेशन फ्रॉम एक्सटर्नल अग्रेशन एंड थ्रेड्स एंड मेंटेनिंग पीस एंड सिक्योरिटी विद इन इट्स बॉर्डर. सो द मेन एम कि उनका वो नेशनल सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड करेंगे, यूनिटी प्रोवाइड करेंगे, जितने भी एक्सटर्नल एग्रेशन और थ्रेड्स हैं उनसे हमारी कंट्री को प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे. एंड द मेन एम इज़ टू प्रोटेक्ट द पॉलिटिकल बॉर्डर्स ऑफ आवर कंट्री. It conducts humanitarian rescue operations during natural calamities and other disturbances. And you have also seen that the army personnel also help the civilians during the natural calamities, like Operation Surya Hope, and can also be requisitioned by the governments to cope with internal threats. So कभी कभी एक्सटर्नल थ्रेड से हटकर भी जो आर्मी है वो इंटरनल थ्रेड्स में भी गवर्नमेंट को एक तरीके से सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड करती है. So it is a major component of the national power alongside the Indian Navy and Indian Air Force. So Navy or Air Force के अलावा Army has a very major role to play in our defense services. The Army has been involved in 4 wars with neighboring Pakistan and one with China. So अभी तक जो हमारी Indian Army है that is involved in 4 wars, जिसमें से 3 war पाकिस्तान के साथ हुए थे and one was with China. Other major operations which were undertaken by the army include Operation Vijay, Operation Meghdoot, and Operation Cactus. So these were the most 3 important and famous missions which were undertaken by Indian Army. Apart from the conflicts, the army has conducted large peacetime exercises like Operation Brass Tacks and Exercise Shurveer, and it has also been an active participant in numerous United Nations peacekeeping missions, including the ones in Cyprus, Lebanon, Congo, Angola, Cambodia, Vietnam, Namibia, एल सैल्वाडोर, लिब्रिया, मोजाम्बिक एंड सोमालिया. सो इन सारी कंट्रीज़ में बहुत सारे पीस कीपिंग मिशंस में भी हमारी आर्मी ने पार्टिसिपेट करा है. नाउ दीज आर द कमीशन रैंक्स इन डिफेंस सर्विसेज. दिस इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज दिस इज़ द रैंक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ आर्मी, नेवी एंड एयरफोर्स. सो फर्स्ट, the highest rank is of the general, then we have lieutenant general, then we have major general, then we have brigadier, colonel, lieutenant colonel, major, captain and lieutenant. Similarly in navy, the highest post is of admiral, then vice admiral, rear admiral, commodore, captain, commander, lieutenant commander, lieutenant and sub lieutenant. And the air force command goes like air chief marshal, air vice marshal, air commodore, group captain, wing commander, squadron leader, flight lieutenant and flying officer. The Indian Army has a regimental system, but it operationally and geographically divided into 7 commands. जो हमारी Indian Army है उसका एक regimental system है, यानी कि the army is divided into various types of regiment. लेकिन operationally Indian Army की हमारी country में 7 commands हैं, with the basic field formation being a division. और हर एक field formation को उन्होंने division बोला है. It is a professional force and comprises more than 80% of the country's active defense personnel. So जितने भी हमारे कंट्री के टोटल डिफेंस पर्सोनल है उसमें से 80% शेयर इज टेकन अप बाय द इंडियन आर्मी. इट इज़ वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट स्टैंडिंग आर्मीज इन द वर्ल्ड विद 1,185,146 एक्टिव ट्रूप्स एंड 9,60,000 रिजर्व ट्रूप्स. सो इट इज़ वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट आर्मी इन द वर्ल्ड, and the numbers are given here which you do not need to remember, but you just have to remember that it is one of the largest standing armies in the world. The army has embarked on an infantry modernization program which is known as Futuristic Infantry Soldier as a System, that is FINSAS. So जो हमारी आर्मी है उन्होंने एक इन्फेंट्री को मॉडर्नाइज करने के लिए, जो इन्फेंट्री होती है, इन्फेंट्री कंसिस्ट ऑफ द सोल्जर्स who are involved in foot on the you can say on the war land during the war times, the soldiers who come into the battleground, that consist of the infantry. So infantry को modernize करने के लिए उन्होंने एक प्रोग्राम लॉन्च करा था which is Futuristic Infantry Soldier as a System, which is FINSAS, which is important for you to remember, and is also upgrading and acquiring new assets for its armored artillery and aviation branches. और अभी भी continuously the army is trying to upgrade and acquire various types of new assets, ताकि जो branches हैं आर्मी की एविएशन वो अच्छी तरीके से फ्यूचर में ऑपरेट कर पाए. Then these are the non-commissioned and junior commissioned ranks which you can read. Then we have the regiments within the Indian Army. Brigade, Mercantile, Madras Regiment, Rajput Regiment, Punjab Regiment, the Parachute Regiment, Rashtriya Rifles, Gorkha Rifles. So these are some of the regiment which you need to keep in mind if it goes asked in your practical that tell us some of the regiments. So some of the basic regiments you could remember by the area of our country. For example, Bihar Regiment, the Punjab Regiment, the Sikh Regiment, the Rajputana Rifles. So the Ladakh Scouts, Arunachal Scouts, Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, Naga Regiment. So some of the regiments you can remember by the name of our states also. So that is very easy to understand. Then we have artillery regiments. The regiment of artillery constitutes a formidable operational arm of the Indian Army. Historically, it takes its lineage from Mughal Empire. Okay, Babur, who is popularly credited with introduction of artillery in India. In the Battle of Panipat in 1526, however, evidence of earlier use of gun by Bahmani kings in the Battle of Adoni in 1368 and King Muhammad Shah of Gujarat in 15th century have been recorded. So it is said that जो हमारे मुगल एम्पर थे बाबर, उन्होंने हमारी आर्मी में आर्टिलरी को, artillery consists of the guns and all of the armored things. So it is said that the Mughal emperor Babur is the one who has commissioned the artillery for our forces. But जो बहामनी किंग्स थे जिन्होंने बैटल ऑफ अडोनी में और बैटल ऑफ पानीपत में किंग मोहम्मद शाह थे गुजरात के, जो कि 15th सेंचुरी में लड़े थे, तब से ही आर्टिलरी रेजिमेंट्स का यूज़ होना स्टार्ट हो गया था, विच हैज़ बिन रिकॉर्डेड इन आर हिस्ट्री रिकॉर्ड्स. Then we have armored regiments. There are 63 armored regiments in the Indian Army. These includes the following historic regiments dating back to the 19th century or earlier. First, Skinner's Horse, the second Lancers, third Cavalry, 7th Light Cavalry, 8th Light Cavalry, 9th Deacon Horse. So these are the name of the armored regiments. You can just read them. Then we have formation and structure of Indian Army. The army has the strength of about 1 million troops and a field 34 divisions. Its headquarters is located in New Delhi and it is under the overall command of the Chief of Army Staff, that is COAS. So 34 divisions है हमारे इंडियन आर्मी के. Headquarters are in New Delhi and it is headed by COAS. Initially, the army's main objective was to defend the nation frontiers. However, over the years, the army has also taken up the responsibility of providing internal security. So पहले यही था कि आर्मी हमारे external borders को protect करेगी, but nowadays most of the time army is involved with the internal issues of the country. ठीक है, insurgency hit areas in Kashmir and in the northeast region. Recently it has been proposed to enhance the strength of the army by more than 90,000 to counter the increasing presence of Chinese troops along the LAC. सो LAC के पास चाइनीज ट्रूप का प्रेजेंस जो है वो बढ़ रहा है. सो आर्मी हैज़ ऑल्सो लॉन्च्ड इट्स जॉब to strengthen its numbers. They have recently proposed the offer to to take admissions of 90,000 personals more to increase their numeric capacity, we can say. Below are the basic field formations of the Indian Army. First one is division. Each division is headed by General Officer Commanding, GOC, in the rank of Major General. Then we have brigade. Brigade consists of around 3,000 combat troops with the supporting elements, and it is directly under the corps commander, GOC corps, which is headed governs the division. Then we have battalion, which consists of 900 combat personnel. Then we have company, which consists of 120 soldiers. Then we have platoon, which consists of 32 troops. And then we have section, which is the smallest military outfit with the strength of only 10 personnel. So this is what you need to remember. Then the division has a very large number. 8,000 support elements आते हैं, 4 rapids, 10 mountain division, 3 armored divisions and 2 artillery divisions. Then we have brigade, which consists of 3,000 people. Then we have battalion, which is 900 combat personnel, company 120 soldiers, then 32 and then 10, which is platoon and section respectively. Then we have commands. The army operates 7 operational commands. 7 operational commands है army की. Each command is headed by general officer commanding in chief with the rank of lieutenant general. So you just need to remember the number and who is headed by them. Other than that, there is no need to get more into it. And then we have corps. Corps is an army field formation responsible for a zone within a command theater. There are 3 types of corps in Indian Army: strike, holding and mixed. This is important. 3 types of corps are strike, holding and mixed. A command generally consists of 2 or more corps. A corps has an army divisions under its command. The corps headquarters is the highest field formation in the army. Then we have regimental organization. These are the functional divisions entrusted with specific pan-army tasks. The Indian Territorial Army has battalions which are affiliated to different infantry regiments and some department units which are either from Corps of Engineers, Army Medical Corps and Army Service Corps. They serve as a part-time reserve. So regimental organization ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में भी हमारे डिफरेंट डिफरेंट टाइप के कोर होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल मेडिकल कोर, आर्मी सर्विस कोर एंड पार्ट टाइम रिजर्व कोर ऑफ इंजीनियर्स. Then we have regimental arms, ठीक है, which is the location of the regimental arms is given. Similarly, we have military training centers here which you can read, and these are the services which are offered by the core section and where their center is located. Okay, moving on to Indian Army, Indian Navy. The Indian Navy is the naval branch of the armed forces. President of India serves as the commander in chief of the Navy, and the chief of naval staff, that is CNS, usually a four-star officer in the rank of admiral, commands the Navy. This is very easy to understand. The Marine, it succeeded the Royal Indian Navy, which was renamed in 1950. The 17th century Maratha Emperor Chhatrapati Shivaji Bhosle is considered as the father of the Indian Navy. This is what you need to remember, that who is the father of the Indian Navy. The father of the Indian Navy is the 17th century Maratha Emperor Chhatrapati Shivaji Bhosle. Okay. Now then we have command and organization. This is, the history of the Indian Navy. Let me just dive into it also. Though the primary objective of the Navy is to secure the nation's maritime borders, India also uses its Navy to enhance its international relations through joint exercises, port visits and humanitarian missions, including disaster relief. So primary objective Indian Navy का ये था कि वो जो हमारे maritime borders होते हैं, oceanic borders जो होते हैं, water bodies के जो borders होते हैं उनको protect करना. But over the counter जो हमारी Navy है, that is involved in the humanitarian missions across the globe, including the disaster relief providing in India. रिसेंट ईयर्स में इंडियन नेवी जो है वो बहुत ही रैपिड मॉडर्नाइजेशन के अंडर गई है, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपने बहुत सारे इक्विपमेंट्स को जो कि सर्विस में थे उनको चेंज करा है. ठीक है, they are developing their blue water capabilities and enhancing its position in the Indian Ocean region. So as of June 2019, Indian Navy has 67,000 personnel in service. So these are the numbers which you don't need to remember. And yeah, this is it. I think these are the numbers. These are not much of important. You can just give it a read by yourself. Then we have command and organization. The Indian Navy operates 3 commands. Similarly, जिससे कि हमारा कमांड था इंडियन आर्मी में, सिमिलरली नेवी में भी हमारे कमांड्स होते हैं. दे आर 3 commands. Each command is headed by a flag officer commanding in chief of the rank of vice admiral. Eastern and western commands each have a fleet which is commanded by rear admiral, and each also has a commodore commanding submarines. The southern naval command is home to the flag officer sea training. जो southern naval command है, that is the home to the flag officer. Additionally, the Andaman and Nicobar command headquartered at Port Blair is a unified tri-services command under the commander in chief of Andaman and Nicobar, that is Sincan, who reports to the chairman chief of staff committee, who is provided staff report by the chief of integrated staff to the chiefs of staff committee. So these are the rank structure which is given, कि कौन सी command किस किस को report करती है and how that particular command is divided in it. ठीक है, most important आपको ये याद रखना है कि अलग से एक command जो बनाई गई है नेवी की, that is अंडमान एंड निकोबार command. ठीक है, जो कि कहाँ पर headquarter है, obviously in पोर्ट ब्लेयर, और ये यूनिफाइड ट्राई सर्विस कमांड है जो कि किसके अंडर आती है, चीफ ऑफ अंडमान एंड निकोबार. ठीक है, एंड देन द कमांडिंग सीक्वेंस इज गिवन. So just give it a read. Current role. Currently the principal roles of Navy are that in conjunction with the other armed forces, एनी थ्रेट और एग्रेशन जो भी टेरिटरी में हो रहा है उससे अपनी टेरिटरी को प्रोटेक्ट करना. ठीक है, मैरीटाइम एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट और नेशन की पॉलिटिकल, इकोनॉमिक और सिक्योरिटी ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को फुलफिल करना, कोऑपरेट करना कोस्ट गार्ड सर्विसेज के साथ, एंड मैरीटाइम असिस्टेंट प्रोवाइड करना इंक्लूडिंग डिजास्टर रिलीफ और अपने नेबरिंग कंट्रीज़ को भी. Similarly, there are the various naval training centers which are given here. Just give them a read. Then we have Indian Air Force. It is the air arm of the armed forces, and its primary responsibility is to secure Indian airspace and to conduct aerial warfare during a conflict. It was officially established on 8th October 1932. So this date you have to remember, that when the Air Force wing was established, it was 8th October 1932 as an auxiliary air force of the British Empire, and the prefix Royal was added in 1945. Under 1945, the prefix Royal was added in recognition of its services during the World War II, which the Indian forces provided, in cooperation with England. After India achieved independence from the United Kingdom in 1947, the Royal Indian Air Force served the Dominion of India, with the prefix being dropped when India became a republic. So when India becomes a republic in 1950, when the constitution was adopted, the prefix of royal was, dropped, because that symbolizes the command from the UK. Okay. Since independence, the IAF has been involved in 4 wars with neighboring Pakistan and one with the People's Republic of China. So it is similar to the army, that army ने 4 बार वॉर करा है, 3 बार पाकिस्तान के साथ, 1 बार चाइना के साथ, और उन सारे वॉर्स में एयर फोर्स ने भी आर्मी के साथ कोऑपरेट करा है. Other major operations which were undertaken by Air Force, it includes Operation Vijay, which was also mentioned in our army operation, the annexation of Goa, Operation Meghdoot, Operation Cactus, and apart from conflicts, the Air Force has been an active participant in United Nations peacekeeping missions. Now the structure is given. Supreme Commander of all the Indian Armed Forces is, Commander in Chief of the Air Force, Chief of the Air Staff with the rank of the Air Marshal. ही इज़ द कमांडर ऑफ द इंडियन एयरफोर्स. और 6 उनके ऑफिसर्स होते हैं जो कि एयर मार्शल की रैंक के होते हैं, विच आर वाइस चीफ, डेप्यूटी चीफ ऑफ द एयर स्टाफ, एयर ऑफिसर इन चार्ज ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, देन वी हैव एयर ऑफिसर इन चार्ज ऑफ पर्सोनल, इन चार्ज ऑफ मेंटेनेंस, एंड डायरेक्टर जनरल ऑफ इंस्पेक्शन एंड सेफ्टी. सिमिलरली, जिस तरीके से हमारा नेवी और आर्मी कमांड्स में डिवाइडेड है, आर एयर फोर्स इज ऑल्सो डिवाइडेड इनटू कमांड्स. The Indian Air Force is divided into 5 operational and 2 functional commands. Operational and functional commands में क्या difference होता है? Operational commands जो होती हैं that serves various types of function, but जो हमारी functional commands होती हैं, those particularly focus on major type of function. For example, we can classify it as there are various types of functions which Air Force has to rendered to perform its duty. So when a particular command is involved primarily in only one function, that is the functional command. Each command is headed by an air officer commander in chief with the rank of air marshal. The purpose of operational command is to conduct military operation using aircraft within its area of responsibility, where the responsibility of functional command is to maintain combat readiness. So जो operational command होती है वो military operations conduct करती है using the aircraft, जो कि उसका area of responsibility है, that is the Indian territory. Aside from the training command, और जो हमारी फंक्शनल कमांड होती है वो हमारी कॉम्बैट रेडीनेस दिखाती है, ठीक है, बिकॉज इट इज़ गिवन फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन. Aside from the training command at Bangalore, the Center for Primary Flight Training is located at Air Force Academy in Hyderabad, आंध्र प्रदेश, फॉलोड बाय ऑपरेशनल ट्रेनिंग एट वेरियस अदर स्कूल्स. सो बहुत सारे स्कूल्स में भी इन कमांड्स का ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है. एडवांस्ड ऑफिसर ट्रेनिंग फॉर कमांड पोजीशन इज ऑल्सो कंडक्टेड एट द डिफेंस सर्विसेज स्टाफ कॉलेज. स्पेशलाइज्ड एडवांस्ड फ्लाइट ट्रेनिंग स्कूल्स आर लोकेटेड एट बिदार, कर्नाटका, एंड हंकीपित, आंध्र प्रदेश, एंड टेक्निकल schools are located at number of other location. Okay, so these are the operational commands of the Air Force in Uttar Pradesh, Allahabad, in Shillong, Meghalaya, in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, Gandhinagar, Gujarat, and in Subrata Park, New Delhi. Then we have the functional commands at Bangalore, Karnataka, and at Nagpur, Maharashtra. Then we have wings. A wing is a formation intermediate between a command and a squadron. So command और squadron के बीच में आता है हमारा wing वाला formation. It generally consists of 2 or 3 IAF squadrons और helicopter units. एक wing में generally 2 या 3 squadron और helicopter units आती हैं along with the forward base support units, that is FBSU. So they do not have or host any squadrons or helicopter units but act as a transit air base for routing operation. So वो किसी भी squadron को host नहीं करती हैं. They are just the routing operations for them. In times of war they can become full-fledged air bases. लेकिन जब war का timing आता है तो वो air base बन सकते हैं उन squadrons के लिए. Then we have squadrons. These are the field units and formations which are attached to static locations. Squadrons are the field units, the main persons who have to be there. Thus, a flying squadron is a sub-unit of an Air Force station which carries out the primary task of the IAF. So, these squadrons are the primary, they perform the primary task of the Air Force. All the fighter squadrons are headed by the commanding officer with the rank of wing commander, and some transport squadrons and helicopter units are headed by commanding officer with the rank of group captain. सिमिलरली हमारी फ्लाइट्स होती हैं अंडर द स्क्वाड्रंस. फ्लाइट का सब डिवीजन होता है ठीक है। स्क्वाड्रन का सब डिवीजन ही फ्लाइट होता है, विच इज कमांडेड बाय द स्क्वाड्रन लीडर. Within this formation structure, IAF has several service branches for day-to-day operations. So flying branch में आपका ये आते हैं, then we have technical branch, and then we have the ground branch. Ground branch consists of logistics and education. Technical consists of engineering, accounts, and meteorological. And flying branch consists of flying, administration, medical, and dental. Then we have personnel. The rank structure of the Indian Air Force is based on that of the Royal Air Force. जो rank structure है वो पहले की तरह जो हमारा Royal Air Force था उसी की तरह पे वो based है. Highest rank which is attainable in Air Force is of Marshal of the Indian Air Force, which is conferred by the President of India. ठीक है, और वो तब मिलती है when you give some exceptional service during war time. So MIAF Arjun Singh is the only officer to have achieved this rank. So the only officer who has achieved this rank is MIAF Arjun Singh. This is what you have to remember. The head of the Indian Air Force is the chief of the air staff who holds the rank of Air Chief Marshal. Okay. Then we have, okay, Marshal of the Indian Air Force, that is MIAF, is Arjun Singh. This is the main thing which you have to remember. For the IAF. Then we have airmen. The duty of an airman in the Indian Air Force is to make sure that all the air and ground operations are run smoothly. So these are the decentralized personnel जिनका मेन ड्यूटी ये होता है कि जितने भी ग्राउंड ऑपरेशंस हैं दे आर रनिंग वेरी स्मूथली. फ्रॉम ऑपरेटिंग एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम टू फिटिंग द मिसाइल्स, वो हर एक एक्टिविटी में इन्वॉल्व होते हैं और हर एक टेक्निकल और नॉन टेक्निकल जॉब में असिस्ट करते हैं. Then we have honorary officers. Honorary officers, for example, सचिन तेंदुलकर एक फर्स्ट स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन थे और फर्स्ट सिविलियन थे जो कि बिना किसी एविएशन बैकग्राउंड के उन्हें ऑनररी रैंक प्रोवाइड की गई थी ग्रुप कैप्टन की बाय द इंडियन एयरफोर्स. सो दीज आर द ऑनररी ऑफिसर्स which are given rank for increasing the honor of our services. Then these are the training centers at Coimbatore, Hyderabad, Jalali, Belgaum, Tambaram, Bidar, and at various centers. Okay. Then we have military history and war heroes. Military history is a very important and inspiring subject. By studying the military history of a war, we learn many details about the causes, political decisions, strategies. Okay. सो मिलिट्री हिस्ट्री को पढ़ना और उन मिलिट्री हिस्ट्री में जो वॉर हुए हैं उन वॉर के हीरोज़ को जानना इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस बिकॉज इट इज़ जनरली सेड दैट हिस्ट्री रिपीट्स इटसेल्फ. So whether or not the history will be repeating, we have to learn from our past mistakes. That is why our military history is important, and that is why we need to learn about our war heroes so that we can get something from their ideas. ठीक है. So the first war hero for which we have to read is Field Marshal Konindera Mandappa Kariyappa OBE. Popularly known as Chimma to his relative and Kipper to his friends, Konindera Mandappa Kariyappa was born on 28th January at Shani Varthante in erstwhile Coorg, Karnataka. So you just have to remember the place at where these war heroes were born. ठीक है. उन्होंने अपनी फॉर्मल एजुकेशन ली थी सेंट्रल हाई स्कूल से जो कि मडिकरी में है और अपनी हायर कॉलेज एजुकेशन उन्होंने प्रेसिडेंसी कॉलेज में ली थी मद्रास में. करियप्पा grew up equally attached to the books and plays under the guidance of renowned academicians. एंड ही वॉज एन एक्टिव स्पोर्ट्समैन. वो एक्टिव स्पोर्ट्समैन थे और बहुत ज़्यादा ब्रिलियंस गेम्स हॉकी और टेनिस इनमें इन्वॉल्व रहे थे. ही ऑल्सो लव्ड म्यूजिक एंड वॉज फॉन्ड ऑफ हैंड ट्रिक्स. ठीक है. सो ही वॉज ऑल्सो अ लवर ऑफ म्यूजिक. उन्होंने फर्स्ट बैच ऑफ KCIOs दैट इज किंग्स कमीशन इंडियन ऑफिसर्स ज्वाइन किया था एट 1919 एट डली कैडेट कॉलेज एट इंदौर और उन्हें कमीशन किया गया था एज अ टेम्प्रेरी सेकंड लेफ्टिनेंट. उन्हें परमानेंट कमीशनिंग मिली थी 1922 में और प्रमोट किया गया था एज अ लेफ्टिनेंट इन 1923 एंड देन एट 1927 एज अ कैप्टन. उन्होंने एक्टिव सर्विस दी थी विद 37 उन्होंने एक्टिव सर्विस विद 37 प्रिंस ऑफ वॉल्स डोगरा इन मेसोपोटामिया में एंड वाज लेटर ही वाज पोस्टेड एट सेकंड राजपूत लाइट इन्फेंट्री जो कि उनकी एक परमानेंट रेजिमेंटल होम बन गया था. ठीक है. वो पहले इंडियन ऑफिसर थे जिन्होंने स्टाफ कॉलेज क्वेटा के कोर्स को अंडरटेक करा था और फिर इन 1938 आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग दैट कोर्स ही वाज प्रमोटेड एज मेजर. करियप्पा ने इराक, सीरिया और ईरान में 1947 से लेकर 1943 1942 तक उन्होंने सर्व करा था, एंड देन बर्मा में उन्होंने 1943 टू 44 में सर्व करा था। उन्होंने बहुत सारे अपने सोल्जरिंग ईयर्स वज़ीरिस्तान में स्पेंड करे हैं। ही earned his mention in dispatches as DAA and QMG of General, later Field Marshal, Slim's 10th Division. He was the first Indian officer to be given command of a unit in 1942. 1942 में Cariappa was the first Indian officer to given the command of a particular unit. आफ्टर द कमांड उन्होंने वॉल्टियर करा था टू सर्व 26 डिवीजन फ्रॉम विच वर इन क्लियरिंग द जापानीज फ्रॉम बर्मा, और उन्हें ऑर्डर ऑफ द ब्रिटिश एम्पायर OBE का अवार्ड भी मिला था। दैट इज वाई ऑर्डर ऑफ द ब्रिटिश एम्पायर OBE वॉज एडेड आफ्टर हिज नेम। सी, ऑर्डर ऑफ द ब्रिटिश एम्पायर OBE इज एडेड आफ्टर हिज नेम। ओके, 1946 में उन्हें ब्रिगेडियर बना दिया गया था, एंड एट दैट टाइम कर्नल अयूब खान, जो कि लेटर फील्ड मार्शल थे प्रेसिडेंट के, उन्होंने इनके अंडर ही सर्व करा था। करियप्पा फर्स्ट इंडियन थे जिन्हें सेलेक्ट किया गया था फॉर द ट्रेनिंग कोर्स एट इंपीरियल डिफेंस कॉलेज UK एट द हायर डायरेक्शंस ऑफ वॉर। और ट्रॉमेटिक पीरियड जो कि हुआ था इंडिया का ड्यूरिंग द पार्टीशन, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी तरीके से इंडियन आर्मी को उनके शेयर ऑफ एसेट्स दिलवाए थे बिटवीन पाकिस्तान एंड इंडियाज़ डिवीजन, और बहुत ही एमिकल वे में और ऑर्डरली मैनर में उन्होंने ये डिवीजन को डिवाइड करा था। सो इट वाज देन द इंडियन ऑफिसर इन चार्ज टू ओवरसी द ट्रांजिशन प्रोसेस। इन इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिया, Cariappa was appointed as a deputy chief of general staff with the rank of major general. So when the partition was done, then in independent India उन्हें मेजर जनरल की रैंक प्रोवाइड की गई थी एज अ डेप्यूटी जनरल ऑफ स्टाफ, Deputy Chief of General Staff, my bad. On promotion of Lieutenant General, he became the Eastern Army Commander. फिर उन्होंने ईस्टर्न आर्मी को कमांड करा था, एंड जब पाकिस्तान के साथ एक आउटब्रेक हुआ था 1947 में, उन्होंने ही वॉज मूव्ड एज जनरल ऑफिसर इन चीफ। उन्हें उस पोजीशन से हटा दिया गया था वेस्टर्न कमांड से, और ऑपरेशंस में डायरेक्ट किया गया था टू रिकैप्चर द जोजिला, द्रास एंड कारगिल, और फिर एक लिंकअप उन्होंने इस्टेब्लिश करा था विद ले। So these were the insurgency affected areas at that time. So he was deputed there. In all this, he showed tremendous energy in moving troops against heavy odds and finally ensuring success for India. And उन्होंने अपनी बहुत ज़्यादा एनर्जी और स्ट्रेटेजिक थिंकिंग इसमें ट्रेमेंडियस एक तरीके से झोंक दी थी, जिसकी वजह से इंडिया गॉट सक्सेस ओवर दीज एरियाज। व्हेन ही वाज अपॉइंटेड एज द फर्स्ट कमांडर इन चीफ ऑफ एन इंडिपेंडेंट इंडियन आर्मी ऑन 15 जनवरी 1949, ही वाज इंस्ट्रूमेंटल इन इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ ट्रूप्स एंड टर्निंग एन इंपीरियल आर्मी इनटू अ नेशनल आर्मी। सो जब 15 जनवरी 1949 में उन्हें फर्स्ट कमांडर इन चीफ की रैंक दी गई थी, उन्हें दो चीज़ों के लिए जाना जाता था कि उन्होंने एक तो अपने ट्रूप्स को बहुत अच्छी तरीके से इंटीग्रेट करा था, उन्हें अच्छी तरीके से कोऑपरेशन करा था, ठीक है, और अच्छे तरीके से मिलाया था, और एक इंपीरियल आर्मी को उन्होंने नेशनल आर्मी में कन्वर्ट करा था। Imperial army, it was under the British Empire, but that was converted for national army. Imperial army, more or less, when India was not independent, there were various types of regiment. तो वो अपने ही इंटरेस्ट को सर्व करते थे अपने एरिया के, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मद्रास रेजिमेंट एंड वेरियस पंजाब रेजिमेंट. सो दीज रेजिमेंट्स वर सर्विंग द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ देयर पर्टिकुलर एरिया. सो उसको कैसे इंटीग्रेट करा, फॉर दैट रीजन ही इज़ वेरी फेमस. Raised the Brigade of the Guard and the Parachute regiments on all India caste composition, and based the National Cadet Corps and Territorial Army using troops from the regular army. And more or less the NCC, that is National Cadet Corps, was also established under his command. Cariappa's career in the army, during which he had the rare distinction of being first in many spheres, is a continuous tale of upward progress. He was the first Indian to be commissioned at the age of 19. Just at the age of 19, when he was very young, he was the first Indian to be commissioned at such a young age. First Indian cadet to be commissioned from Delhi Cadet College at Indore. वो फर्स्ट इंडियन ब्रिगेडियर थे. First Indian to enter the Imperial Defence College in England, the first Indian officer to enter the Staff College in Quetta, and the first Indian Major General in 47, and the first Indian Chief of Staff. So these were the laurels which were brought by the Cariappa. His association with the Indian Army is spread over an unbroken period of more than 29 years, during which he had wide experience of staff and command work. After his retirement from the Indian Army in 53, he served as the High Command Commissioner to Australia and New Zealand. So after he was done with the service of Indian Army, he also was commissioned, provided his services as a commissioner to Australia and न्यू जीलैंड टिल 1956. जब उनका पब्लिक सर्विस से रिटायरमेंट हो गया था, करियप्पा सेटल डाउन अमिस द ग्रीनरी एंड नेचर इन हिज ओन रोशनारा एट मदिकरी. He loved the environment and the flora and fauna around him. He lived a life of simplicity and dignity, which was the hallmark of the man. ही स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ हिज लीजर टाइम एजुकेटिंग पीपल अबाउट क्लीनलेस. उन्होंने अपना बहुत सारा टाइम लोगों को क्लीनलेस, पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल के बारे में और जो हमारी रेगुलर इन्वायरमेंटल इश्यूज असेंशियल टॉपिक्स होते हैं उनके बारे में एजुकेट करने में इन्वेस्ट करा. 1962 में भी 65-97 वन वॉर्स में उन्होंने फ्रंट लाइन ट्रूप्स के साथ बात करा था और उनका मोरल को बहुत ज़्यादा एनकरेज अप करा था. करियप्पा ने बहुत ज़्यादा एक्टिव पार्ट किया था फॉर द रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ द आर्म्ड फोर्सेस इन मेनी फॉरेन कंट्रीज. ही वॉज मच ट्रैवल्ड मैन एंड विजिटेड पार्ट्स ऑफ चाइना, जापान, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, ग्रेट ब्रिटेन, कैनेडा एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द यूरोपियन कंट्रीज. So Cariappa sir was having a very great experience along all the continents by visiting various types of countries. He was conferred with the order of the chief commander of the Legion Merit by US, and wherever he go he was awarded something for his presence and for the work which he dedicated during his service. Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa breathed his last at Bangalore at a ripe age of 94 on 15th May 1993. So this was the unfortunate date on which Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa breathed his last. Then we have Field Marshal Sam Harmosji Framji Jamshedji Manekshaw. So who doesn't know this man? Popularly known as Sam Bahadur, Sam Harmosji Framji Jamshedji Manekshaw was born in Amritsar, Punjab on 3rd April. He completed his education in Amritsar and at Sherwood College, Nainital. So, Sam Manekshaw was born in Amritsar, Punjab, and yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So, Sir Sam Manekshaw was born in Amritsar, Punjab on 3rd of April 1914, and he completed his education in Amritsar at and Sherwood College, which is in Nainital. फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने IMA ज्वाइन करा था देहरादून में on 1st October 1932, and he passed out from IMA in December 1934 and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Indian Army. ठीक है, उन्होंने regimental assignments और बहुत सारा he was first attached to the Royal Scouts and later to the 12th Frontier Force Rifles. उन्होंने अपनी सर्विसेज यहाँ पर प्रोवाइड करी थी. वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 के दौरान भी उन्होंने एक्शन जो बर्मा में एक्शन हो रहा था वहाँ पर भी he was involved. During the World War II, he was leading a counter-offensive against the invading Japanese army in Burma. बर्मा में जो जापानीज आर्मी थी उनके अगेंस्ट भी उन्होंने अपनी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करी थी. एज ही चार्ज फॉरवर्ड विद हिज मैन, अ जापानीज सोल्जर सडनली emerged from the bushes and fired at him, wounding him seriously in the stomach. So जब वो अपनी आर्मी के साथ मार्च कर रहे थे तो सडनली अ जापानीज सोल्जर शूट हिम एट हिज स्टमक. फॉर्चुनेटली मेजर जनरल जो थे उन्होंने मानेकशॉ को स्पॉट कर लिया था एंड देन ही सेव्ड हिज लाइफ. A dead person cannot be awarded a military cross. Okay, so these were the words of Sir Sham Manekshaw when he faced those shots. When he recovered from those near fatal wounds in Burma, he went for a course at Staff College, Quetta, and later also served there as an instructor before being sent to join 12th Frontier Force Rifles in Burma under the general, later Field Marshal. He was once again involved in a fierce battle with the Japanese and was wounded for a second time. And then again, after having shots in the stomach for the first time, he was again shooted after completing his course at Quetta. Towards the close of World War II, मानेकशॉ को जनरल डेजी इंडो चाइना में भेज दिया गया था जहाँ पर जापानीज ने फाइनली सरेंडर करा था. उन्होंने रिहैबिलिटेशन में हेल्प करी थी फॉर 10,000 प्रिजनर्स ऑफ वॉर POWs. ही देन वेंट ऑन अ 6 months लेक्चर टूर टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया इन 1946 और अपनी रिटर्न के बाद उन्होंने एज अ फर्स्ट ग्रेड ऑफिसर सर्व करा था मिलिट्री ऑपरेशन डायरेक्टरेट्स में इन न्यू दिल्ली. सैम मोनिक्शा के पास ग्रेट अक्यूमेन था फॉर प्लानिंग एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वाइल हैंडलिंग द इश्यूज ऑफ पार्टीशन इन 1947 एंड लेटर उनके बैटल स्किल्स को यूज़ किया गया था ड्यूरिंग 1947 टू 48 जम्मू कश्मीर के ऑपरेशंस में. ठीक है. Okay, I will now just be reading the important things. 1968 में उन्हें ऑनर किया गया था विद पद्म भूषण विच इज़ द थर्ड हाईएस्ट सिविलियन ऑनर. फिर उन्होंने जनरल कुमागलम एज चीफ ऑफ आर्मी स्टाफ उन्हें बनाया गया था ऑन 7 जून 1969 and the war ended with Pakistan unconditional surrender and the formation of Bangladesh. Mukti Bahini, the concept of Mukti Bahini was एक तरीके से वो इंट्रोड्यूस किया था अंडर द कमांड ऑफ सर शैम मोनिक्शा. तो वो वाला एक जो क्रूशल टाइम पीरियड था दैट वाज हैंडल्ड वेरी वेल बाय हिम. Sam Manekshaw achievements as COS, Chief of Army Staff, were that he prepared the army for a well-planned and well-executed operation against Pakistan, leading to the creation of Bangladesh. ठीक है. 1971 में उन्होंने एक सेपरेशन जो करा था बांग्लादेश का, that was the main thing which occurred under his command. As chairman of Chief of Staff Committee, he welded the army, navy and air force into a well-knitted team and taking over the 90,000 Pakistan POWs, thereby paving the way for favorable negotiations. और उन्होंने जो prisoners of wars थे उन्होंने 90,000 पाकिस्तान जो prisoners थे उन्हें freedom provide करा था ताकि एक negotiation बनी रहे. For his selfless service to the nation, he was awarded the Padma Vibhushan in 1972. फिर उन्हें ऑनररी रैंक दी गई थी फील्ड मार्शल की ऑन 1st जनवरी एंड देन अ फोर्टनाइट लेटर ऑन 15th जनवरी 1973 आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग नियरली 4 decades ऑफ ग्लोरियस मिलिट्री सर्विस वो रिटायर हो गए थे. Next, we need to learn about Major Somnath Sharma, PVC. Major Somnath Sharma was the first recipient of the Paramveer Chakra, the highest Indian gallantry award. He was awarded the medal posthumously for his bravery in the Kashmir operations in November 1947. उन्हें ये मेडल अपनी ब्रेवरी के लिए दिया गया था which he showcased in November 1947 and he died while evicting Pakistani infiltrators and raiders from Srinagar airport during the Indo-Pak War of Kashmir. He belonged to the 4th Kumaon Regiment. So Major Somnath Sharma PVC belonged to the 4th Kumaon Regiment. Somnath was born on 31st January 23 in a Brahmin family at Dud in Kangra, Himachal Pradesh. So he was born in Himachal Pradesh. He came from a well-known military family. His father was a military officer and his brothers was also involved in military. And his sister, Major Dr. Kamla Tiwari. So, he was from a particular military family. After completing his education and selection in army, he was commissioned into the 8th battalion एंड देन उन्होंने जो अराकान के ऑपरेशंस थे उन्होंने उसमें अपनी सर्विसेज रेंडर की थी. सोमनाथ शर्माज डी कंपनी ऑफ 4th कुमाऊं वॉज एयरलिफ्टेड टू श्रीनगर. जो 4th कुमाऊं थी डी कंपनी सोमनाथ शर्मा की उन्हें एयरलिफ्ट किया गया था टू श्रीनगर ऑन 31st अक्टूबर एंड बदगाम विलेज कश्मीर वैली में उन्हें ऑर्डर दिया गया था फॉर फाइटिंग द पेट्रोल. A tribal lashkar of 700 raiders approached Badgam from the direction of Gulmarg. So Gulmarg की डायरेक्शन से 700 raiders जो थे वो अप्रोच कर रहे थे उस पर्टिकुलर एरिया को. तो कंपनी ने सून सराउंड कर लिया एनिमीज़ को फ्रॉम ऑल द 3 साइड्स और हैवी कैजुअलिटीज़ हुई थी उस टाइम पर. ठीक है. शर्मा रियलाइज द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ होल्डिंग अप इनटू हिज पोजीशन एज बोथ ऑफ द सिटी ऑफ श्रीनगर एंड द एयरपोर्ट वुड बी वल्नरेबल इफ़ इट वर लॉस्ट. और उन्हें पता था कि अगर इतनी पॉश लोकेशन और एक तरीके से कह सकते हैं एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट लोकेशन थी इंडिया की एट दैट टाइम गुलमर्ग. सो अगर वो लोकेशन अगर चली जाती सो दैट वुड बी अ वेरी वल्नरेबल लॉस फॉर आवर कंट्री. सो अंडर द हैवी फायर एंड आउट नंबर्ड 7-1, it means for every 1 Indian soldier there were 7 Pakistani soldiers. उन्होंने अपनी कंपनी को मोटिवेट करा and he really fight very bravely and often exposing himself to danger as he ran from post to post. When heavy casualties adversely affected the firing power of his company, Major Sharma, with his right hand in plaster, took upon himself as a task of filling the magazines and issuing them to men operating the light machine guns. So जब बहुत ज़्यादा casualties हो गई थी, so he was the one who was himself handling the task of filling up the magazines of the soldiers. His last message to brigade headquarters received a few moments before he martyred. So the last message of Major Somnath Sharma PVC was: the enemies are only 50 yards from us. We are heavily outnumbered. We are under devastating fire. I shall not withdraw an inch, but will fight to our last man and our last round. So these were the last words which Major Somnath Sharma spoke. In this manner, Major Sharma prevented the fall of Srinagar and arguably the Kashmir Valley to Pakistan by sacrificing his life with great bravery. Now, then we have Second Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal PVC. Second Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal was born on 1st October 1950 in Pune, Maharashtra. And he उनके जो father थे, he was also in military. During the war, 17th Pune Horse was assigned to the command, and on December 16, Pakistani 13 Lancers equipped with then state of the art US made 50-ton Patton tanks launched the first of their counter attacks under the cover of a smoke screen at B Squadron of the Pune Horse at Jarpal. Its squadron commander urgently called the reinforcements. So this is the war history which is given of Second Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal PVC. I think these, this is written in very basic words which you can understand just by reading it. So just give it a read. And then we have Major Shaitan Singh PVC. So उनकी पूरी history and his wartime experience is also given here. Just give them a read. The video is really getting very too long. Then we have important battles in war. Battle of Hayat Pass, war against Seleucus, Battle of Kalinga, which was headed by Ashoka. Then during the AD we have Battle of Thaneshwar, first Battle of Tarain, second Battles of Tarain. This is not that much of important. Just give it a read, but it is not that much of importance. Okay, these are the wars. And then we have battles of Indo-Pak War. Main thing which you need to remember is that till the date we have four types of war: 1965 war, 71 war, 1999 war, and proxy war, which is continuously going for the Jammu and Kashmir state since 1988 till date. इंडो पाकिस्तान वॉर 1965 कैसे कैसे हुई थी, उसमें कौन से ऑपरेशंस हुए थे, वो ऑपरेशंस को आपको याद रखना है. Similarly, the Pakistan War, which was held in 71, just read the highlighted words. Okay, there is the history, whole of the history which is given of the war. Give it a read, but the things which you have to remember is only the highlighted lines here. Then we have Kargil War in 1999, the most famous and recent war which can get asked in your question paper. Okay. Then we have a Paramveer Chakra. That Paramveer Chakra is the highest military decoration which is awarded for the highest degree of valor or self-sacrifice in the presence of the enemy. So Paramveer Chakra is the highest military decoration which is awarded for military personnel, and it is the second highest award of the government of India after Bharat Ratna. Bharat Ratna के अलावा बाद जो second highest award है, that is Paramveer Chakra. It replaced the former British Colonel Victoria Cross. जो इसके equivalent जो हमारा पिछला award था, that was British Colonial Victoria Cross. So these are the recipients of Paramveer Chakra. Just give them a read. Major Somnath Sharma, जिनके बारे में हमने पढ़ा, Jadunat Singh, Second Lieutenant Rama, Havaldar Major Pinu Singh, and Lance Nayak Karam Singh, Captain Gurbachan Singh, Major Dhyan Singh Thapa, Subedar Joginder Singh, Major Shaitan Singh, Company Quartermaster Havaldar Abdul Hamid, Lieutenant Colonel Ardrashir, and then we have Lance Nayak Albert, Flying Officer Nirmaljit Singh, and Second Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal. इनके लिए भी हमने पढ़ा है. Then we have Major होशियार Singh, Naib Subedar Bana Singh, and various other recipients of Paramveer Chakra. So these were awarded while they were serving. Okay, it has been awarded 21 times. This is what you have to remember. But the content of this book is as of 2019. ठीक है. So after 2019 परमवीर चक्र किसको अवार्ड हुआ है, that you need to research on Google and add it then कि कितने number of times तक अभी तक PVC जो है वो armored personals को दिया गया है. ठीक है. So I think yes, this was it for this chapter. I hope you are able to understand it, and I hope I let you know the most of the important things in this chapter. So this is it for this video, and if it was helpful to you, then do like, share, subscribe. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video.